Bonjour, my name is RITAH AMANYA, and I am Ugandan based in Nairobi. I work for the Trade and Development Bank, which is the financial arm of COMESA. I started learning French in Uganda as a teenager at Alliance Française, and I was very lucky that my family and friends encouraged me not to give it up ever. This French language has been such an amazing tool for me because it just opened up my world of thinking, my perspective, and understanding different cultures and different people. I started my career off at the Algerian embassy in Kampala, and I worked for various multinationals both in Uganda and here in Kenya. In my day-to-day work at the moment, I do use French to review various documents, to speak and interact with people from different parts of Africa as well as different parts of the world. So I have found that this has really been a great advantage. Why should I stick to English only? So I would encourage any Ugandan out there to really challenge yourself and not be comfortable with just knowing one language, but take on the French language. It opens up many opportunities, not just in terms of career, but also meeting new people, exploring different cities, and getting more interest and understanding of different cuisines and different perspectives to work. I would really encourage my fellow Ugandans to pursue learning a second language. Thank you.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Harriet, je suis professeure de français et j'habite au Canada. I would like to talk to you about the good that I've got from the French language, but also all the good you yourself can get from learning it. A little bit of background. I started learning French in secondary school in Uganda, but when I started learning it in senior one, I was just like you. That is, I was, wondering where the French language would take me, given that Uganda is an Anglophone country. But to tell you the truth, I have benefited from it quite a lot. First of all, French has gotten me a job, as I earlier stated. I'm a teacher of French. French has made me, connect with people from different socio-cultural backgrounds. French has made me travel to France, to some African countries for conferences in French, but also French, got me what we call séjour linguistique in France, and also enabled me to do further studies. And these were, fully sponsored by the French embassy in Uganda. So French really has a lot of benefits. Just give it a try and you see where it will take you. And wish you good luck as you do so.
Bonjour, j'espère que vous allez bien. My name is FELIX BWIKIZO, and I'm here to tell you why really you have to choose French. I have learned a lot of things in French, and I've also learned a lot of things with French. First of all, the biggest thing really is that I was able to represent Uganda for the East African Song Competition way back in 2015. And while at university, I was doing journalism and communication. At the same time, I was doing French. So I was also chosen while still at university to do an exchange program in Paris in a renowned university called Sciences Po, where I was able to do, where I was able to interact with several people for almost 6 months. But these people, most of them were Africans, and were Africans from Francophone Africa. So in a way, I should say that French has been a bridge of connecting several people, but especially Africans, between Africans. And for me, that's the biggest motive. I learned French. So as a Pan-Africanist, really, there's no way you can communicate with other Africans without passing by French. So that's why I chose really this language. So probably you may be there and wondering what you can do French with. There are lots of things, not only in education, but different. And it's not all about actually sometimes getting a job, but sometimes interacting and getting to know people. It's from then that also you get more opportunities, I've, really been able to go back to France to do my master's because I was in contact with people, who know French. Oh, voila. So I call upon you, therefore, to choose the language in order to have, better lives.
Bonjour à tous, je m'appelle Kainem Babazi, je suis ougandaise vivant à Kampala et je travaille dans le domaine du tourisme. As a Ugandan, I learned French from a very young age. I think I was actually 5 years old and my family were living in Switzerland at the time. I was fortunate enough to be able to continue my studies of French right up to undergraduate level. When I entered the travel industry, French was always very useful because wherever I would travel, I would always, without fail, come across people who spoke French. And as I changed jobs within the same industry, French became more and more useful as I was working in East African countries that are French-speaking. And so I wish to encourage all Ugandans, young and old, if maybe you studied French at school and maybe stopped your studies, or if perhaps you're considering learning a new language, French will always be a useful language to have. It's the main language, or one of the main languages for most of the international organizations and associations around the world, and it's actually spoken by over 300 million people globally. So you can't go wrong with French.
Bonjour à tous, je m'appelle Stella et j'habite à Montréal. Hi guys, my name is Stella and I live in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And guys, you're gonna ask, how did she migrate to Canada? Well guys, I had a dream to live abroad and I always wanted to live either in the United States or Canada. I tried several options, but I failed. So one day, there was an opportunity I saw for people to migrate to Canada, Quebec. And one had to speak French. At that time, I did not know any French. That was in 2011. So I started searching places to find where I can go and learn French so I can migrate to Canada. I was able to find French courses at Alliance Francaise de Kampala. I remember that time they were at Makinoni Road. I went, I registered, and because I was a full-time worker, I took the evening classes. I remember my first bonjour was taught to me by Professor Gart. Thank you so much, Professor Tumini Agathe, for teaching us French. You encouraged us because that time I thought it was so difficult. And always in life, guys, you're gonna find people are gonna discourage you that French is difficult. French is not. Thank you, Professor Gart, for encouraging us. French is easy as long as you love it, you're gonna learn it. I didn't know French in 2011. Today I speak it. So when I completed my classes, I started applying, and that's when I was accepted to come here. I live here. So what I'm saying to you young people, take that French very serious because it can help you migrate to Canada if you want, or you can even work for organizations like the UN. And here, if you speak French and English, you are paid more money. So that means that French is important. Learn it whether you are young or old, French is something that can help you go wherever you want to go. I was able to come here because of French. And another thing is that people are paid more because they speak French and English. Not everyone can do that. So why don't you be among those people who can speak it? Because you have the opportunity, you have the teachers, you have Makerere University, where there is an institute. I think they have a faculty of languages. I remember I used to go there also to learn French again. And the Alliance Francis de Kampala is there to teach you French. Use those opportunities to learn French. You never know. You can live here just like me, just if you want, or you can work for the United Nations or something. You can get something good because of this language. Merci beaucoup et bonne journée. That's all I have to share with you today.
Bonjour à toutes et à tous. Je réponds au nom de Henry Aloysius Mwanga. Je suis interprète de conférences indépendant. Je travaille avec une clientèle composée de diverses organisations locales, régionales et internationales. Je suis membre de l'Association internationale des interprètes de conférences. Auparavant, j'ai enseigné le français et l'économie dans différentes institutions scolaires avant de suivre une formation complémentaire et me retrouver et me reconvertir dans ma carrière actuelle que j'exerce d'interprète de conférences. Mais maintenant, je vais passer en anglais. Now, there are some 300 million people who speak French worldwide, and French ranks as the 5th most spoken language globally, behind Chinese, English, Spanish, and Arabic. French is a language of international diplomacy, global business, and professional work. Any professional, you and I, needs French as a second or third language, or even fourth. Now, the other thing is that employers and businesses will always seek applicants who can speak and work in more than one language. International jobs adverts have a clause which we know, which says that knowledge of a second or third international language, such as French, has an added advantage and gives the applicant an edge over other applicants. Let me just conclude now, giving you 3 reasons why, in my opinion, French is important. Number 1, French opens you to a different and interesting way of understanding and appreciating society and the world at large. There is a philosopher by the name of Federico Fellini who says, and I quote, a different language is a different vision of life. Now, the second point is this. It helps you, that's French, to discover the world beyond and gives you a better appreciation and understanding of your own culture and language. Now, there is another author by the name of Geoffrey Whelans who said, and I quote, you can never understand one language until you understand at least 2. Number 3, French opens doors for you and me for rewarding employment opportunities in both regional and international organizations such as the UN, the World Bank, the World Health Organizations, UNICEF.
Bonjour, hello, my name is Basit Mujuni. I am Ugandan. I live in Kampala and I work at the Embassy of France in Uganda. Why do I love French? I love the French language because it's a beautiful language, it's sweet, it's romantic. It's impossible not to love that language. I mean, it's obvious that I love it and I don't think anyone would experience it and not love it. How did I start learning French? When I started learning French when I was a young girl, I must have been around 10 or 11 years old, and then I went to high school and I studied French, S1 to S4, then A-level, S5 and S6, then at my bachelor's level, still I did French, master's, still I did French. So yeah, it's been a long journey and still is a journey, and because of that, I've been in the French language circle for some time. Some of the opportunities I've had are working with Francophone organizations or French organizations. For example, I work with the French embassy, and that is an opportunity I never would have had if I didn't speak French. So yeah, definitely it has been important in my life and in my career, not just the professional side, but I've had the chance to travel and visit other Francophone countries just because I can speak French. So definitely it has been very important in my life and very instrumental in my career. I strongly recommend that everyone out there, young and old, whatever level you're at, whatever status, everyone should learn French. Why? Because first of all, it's an international language. This is now a global village. It's not possible for one person to just have only one international language like English and compete with other people who have French and English. It's not possible. So if you want to stand out, you really need to learn a second language, a second international language, and that definitely has to be French. And not just for the professional side and the tourist side, but for personal reasons as well, because let's face it, it's very sophisticated to speak French. I mean, it's a cool thing. You sound cool when you can speak French and you can throw around some French words. You know, it's special. So definitely everyone should learn French. Thank you.
Salutations à vous tous. Je m'appelle Père Bernard. I am called Father Bernard RABONI AKIIKI, and I greet you all. I'm a priest from Fort Portal Diocese and currently serving in Austria and also doing my doctorate studies at the University of Vienna here in Austria. Today I'm not here to preach, but I'm here to encourage someone to explore into the joy of learning new languages, especially foreign languages, which I have found more exciting and richly rewarding. This I have witnessed in my life. I have no doubt about what I'm saying. And all I must say, French opened for me the way to learn other languages. It actually helped me to speak better English because my English was a bit poor as I was studying. And French has not done only that, it has also helped me to lay a great ground for me to learn other languages like Spanish, Italian, and German, which I speak here. And I have not been limited also in the reading material. I have not been limited in my research. I have not also been limited in places to go. I have not also been limited in having friends because of these foreign languages. There is a way they open for us various opportunities. And also as a priest in a special way, French and other languages, German and the rest which I have learned, they have helped me to do my work, of course, the work of preaching the good news, which I enjoy most. And as Nelson Mandela said, that when you speak to people in a language that they understand, that goes into their heads. But if you speak their very own language, that goes into their hearts. I would like to encourage you to explore into new languages. As somebody also said, that when you speak one language, you are one person, but when you speak two languages, you are two people. Think about it and don't be limited. Explore the world, have a new vision, explore opportunities through learning different languages. Thank you for listening.
Greetings to you lovely listeners. Salut à tous. My names are Colonel Tempa Simwe of Uganda People's Defense Forces, Land Force. This script is about my love for learning the French language. I developed love for the French language after joining secondary school, but unfortunately, all my books were stolen in the second year. That ended my love for the subject. As opportunities fly around, I was given a chance by Uganda People's Defense Forces leadership to to join Alliance Française, Kampala, for the same course. Our first classes were held in the then Uganda People's Defense Forces officers' mess in Kororo, and the first days I thought I would never read or write French because it looked really difficult. I believe all French fresh learners fall victims of this stage. But because our professor, Madame Agatha, used all tactics to make sure we learn, no member of the class remained behind. As I talk now, I can at a low speed, a low rate, write and read, and to some extent, listen and interpret. Thank you all professors who contributed to our learning of the French language. My thanks also go to Uganda People's Defense Forces leadership, and more importantly, my command-in-chief for the good environment. Merci beaucoup de m'avoir écouté. Que Dieu vous bénisse. Ruta continue.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Sylvia Namugambe. Je travaille à l'Alliance française de Kampala. Je suis en même temps traductrice et interprète. Hello, I'm called Sylvia Namugambe. I work with the Alliance Française de Kampala as a teacher of French language, and I'm also an interpreter and translator. Now, about French language, it has been a key element in my career life. I can't imagine my entire career life without the contribution of my knowledge of French language. I've been able to find quite a number of wonderful opportunities. Ever since I finished my final year in Makerere, I've been doing translation and interpretation at a number of conferences and seminars and workshops, and I've really enjoyed this kind of work. And I've also, I can say the most wonderful opportunity I've found from my journey in French language is working with the Embassy of France in Uganda, and I'm really grateful for that. And currently I'm teaching French language at Alliance Française de Kampala, and I really like what I'm doing. I really like passing on my knowledge of French to other young people that I'm teaching, and I'm also happy that I've been able to inspire so many of my friends to take on French language because they are looking around and seeing the various benefits that they can get from the language. And I would like to appeal to the different schools and institutions and universities, especially those that have scrapped the French language from the syllabus, to rethink this decision. We really don't know how many opportunities we are denying to so many young people by scrapping the French language. And also, we need professionals who are multilingual. It's not enough to be a lawyer, an engineer. You must also have that extra skill, that extra foreign language that will market you out there and make you more employable.
Capital de Rolex, tomate, salade et chapati. Le voici, je te dis, Rolex, tomate et chapati.